Mangwana ni mwalelepo vukenjani kreklas vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Betty on Friday, the 12th of July. These are some of the top stories we'll be looking at today. Kenya's President William Ruto dismisses all cabinet secretaries. Mali's junta lifts 3-month suspension on political party activities, and Bangladesh suspends job quotas after student protests. We'll also be crossing over to Mike Sichula as he brings us the news directly from Zambia. 102.com, DSTV 285, GoTV 25, and Network Media Hub on YouTube is precisely where you can find us. Top stories shortly.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Now, Kenya's President William Ruto said he was dismissing all cabinet secretaries as well as the Attorney General of Kenya. Here is Reuters with the full report.
Kenyan President William Ruto took the sword to his cabinet on Thursday. He dismissed everyone except his foreign minister after nationwide anti-government protests.
I have today decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the cabinet secretaries and attorney general of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya.
The youth-led protests, sparked by planned tax hikes, which Ruto has since abandoned, have created the biggest crisis of his 2-year presidency. At least 39 people were killed in clashes with the police, and some demonstrators briefly stormed Parliament last month before Ruto abandoned the new taxes.
I will immediately engage in extensive consultations across different sectors.
In a televised address, Ruto told the nation he was also dismissing the East African country's Attorney General, but said the Deputy President's office was not affected.
With the aim of setting up a broad-based government.
Last week, Ruto proposed spending cuts and additional borrowing in roughly equal measures to fill the nearly $2.7 billion budget hole caused by the withdrawal of the tax hike. Analysts say the rollback means Kenya is likely to miss International Monetary Fund targets, although the government does not have debts due.
Moving on to our next story, Mali's junta said it would allow political parties and associations to resume their activities. Now, the announcement, which is by the Council of Ministers, came 3 months after activities were suspended, purportedly to safeguard public order. At the time, political parties were protesting against the military government's decision to stay in power beyond a March 2024 deadline for returning to civilian rule. The suspension in April came days before the start of a national dialogue for peace in Mali that has been battling a jihadist insurgency for over a decade. Military leaders who have been in power since 2020 justified the move, saying political parties posed a danger to the discussions on the country's political future. Now moving on, Bangladesh's top court on Wednesday temporarily suspended quotas for coveted government jobs. This after thousands of students staged nationwide protests against what they call a discriminatory system, lawyers said. The quota system reserves more than half of well-paid and massively oversubscribed civil service posts, totaling hundreds of thousands of government jobs, for specific groups, including children of liberation heroes. Students launched protests earlier this month demanding a merit-based system, with demonstrations on Wednesday blocking highways and railway lines. The Supreme Court suspended that order for a month, said lawyer Shah Monjul Hoka, who represents 2 students seeking to end the quota system. Now moving over next door, Angola plans to sell a majority stake in Standard Bank de Angolas SA that was controlled by former insurance tycoon who is serving a 9-year prison term, and this is according to a presidential decree. The Angolan government seized a stake in the 49% in Standard Bank in 2020 from Carlos So Vicente, who was convicted for crimes including embezzlement as well as fraud. Let's move over to South Sudan. South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has sacked the country's finance minister, who was just 4 months into the job. State-owned television reported the sixth replacement in the post since 2020. Kiir gave no reason for firing Awao Daniel Shuang, who was appointed in mid-March this year. The report said late on Wednesday the economist Mariao Deng has been tapped to replace him as finance minister. South Sudan's economy has been under pressure in recent years amid communal violence, with crude oil export revenue having dwindled since the 2013 to 2018 civil war, and more recently export disruptions due to war in neighboring Sudan. Now, the Zambia police has allowed Zimbabwean activists to demonstrate against President Emerson Mnangagwa becoming the SADC chair. We're going to be talking to Mike Sichula after the break as he brings us that and other stories stemming from Zambia.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
It's time to talk to Mike Sichula. Mike Udiwanje.
Nere bueno Muribwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. Now, Zambian police have allowed Zimbabwean activists to protest against President Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe becoming the SADC chair. Tell us more.
Yes, according to the statement that was been issued by the demonstrators, the organizers under the banner of SADC Citizens Democratic Society are led by civic leaders and pro-human rights defenders, with Mr. Trust Njovu as the chairperson, Mr. Taangi Marufu as the organizer, and Mr. Peter Maposa as the secretary general. So according to the statement that they issued, and I quote, during these 2 days, demonstrations were going to present SADC with a petition against Mnangagwa's inauguration as SADC chair and demand that SADC addresses the issues surrounding the disputed 2023 elections in Zimbabwe, as well as the persecution of pro-Chamisa opposition figures such as Honorable Johnson Timber and 78 others, end of quote. So this is a statement that has been issued by the organizers, who are saying they have notified the Zambia police, and there's a statement to that effect to say we want to demonstrate against Mr. Mnangagwa during the ongoing SADC ministerial summit that is taking place in Lusaka. So the majority, he says, the majority of Zimbabweans believe that Mr. Nelson Chamisa won the 2023 presidential election, but the ZANU-PF lead the elections. So this is why they want to demonstrate, and they have pushed in their notice to the police. And according to Zambian laws, when you notify the police do not need to permit you to go ahead. You just only need to notify the police, and it is based on that premise that the organizers have told their members that they have been allowed to demonstrate during the 2 days SADC ministerial summit that is taking place in Lusaka. However, police have issued a statement late yesterday that they are still discussing with the organizers of this demonstration because they feel it is not supposed to go ahead considering that Zambia and Zimbabwe are neighbors, and they think if anything goes, if citizens of Zimbabwe demonstrate against Mnangagwa, it may seem that Zambia is supporting is against President Mnangagwa. So this is what is ongoing. But according to the demonstrators, they think they have to go ahead because they have notified the police.
And to be fair, President Mnangagwa explicitly told Vladimir Putin that Zambia was a danger to Zimbabwe. This was official. So I think with regards to worrying about the perception of the neighbor, I believe Mnangagwa might have already set that ship to sail. So let's see how that goes in Zambia. Now, moving on to the economy, Zambia will be among countries that will benefit from a 4.5 billion euro global fund. Tell us more, Mike.
Yeah, this follows the signing of a memorandum of understanding on sustainable development cooperation between Zambia and Italy. So, Foreign Affairs and International Cooperations Minister Molambo Haimbe and Italian ambassador to Zambia have signed the memorandum of understanding in Lusaka, and they hope that the 4.5 billion euros is going to be used in the management of forestry in Zambia. For instance, Zambian authorities have since banned the burning of charcoal in about 5 districts that have been that have dominated in terms of cutting down of trees to make charcoal, which is an alternative source of energy aside the provision of the electricity, which has become erratic due to the El Nino induced drought. So this funding is expected to be one of those fundings that Zambia has continued to receive from foreign corporate organizations and countries to help Zambia manage its forestry in a sustainable way, and also use this funding to create alternative means of energy away from the dominant hydro power stations.
All right, Mike. Now, the ongoing electricity national deficit has resulted in nationwide interruption of mobile communication in the country. Tell us about that.
So what has been happening for the past 1 week is that mobile telecommunications companies have been having difficulties to have a smooth transmission of their services. So according to the statement that is displayed on the screen there, according to the statement that has been issued by the Association of Mobile Organizations in Zambia, they did say that the ongoing electricity load shedding has had a negative effect on communication towers that depend on electricity. They said that the generators that have been installed at these telecommunication powers are meant to last for only about 4 hours. But in Zambia, we have a situation where electricity load shedding is going on for 13 to 14 hours, which is way higher than the 4 hours that these power generators or power backup powers need to last. So as a result of this, whenever electricity goes, Zambians have had the challenge even to transact mobile money, because there will literally be no network on any of these mobile service providers. So in Zambia, we've got 3 mobile service providers, and according to this statement, they said over 3,500 towers have been affected by the ongoing electricity rationing that Zambia is experiencing. So in the short term, they are saying that they would now move to install solar powered power backups in these telecommunication towers, so that there shouldn't be disruption of connectivity in terms of mobile phone communications.
All right, Mike. Now moving over to sport, the world's most expensive female football player, Rachel Kundananjali, has launched her own foundation to promote sports development. Talk about giving back to the grassroots.
Yes, something that has excited the government of Zambia through the Ministry of Sport. So Rachel Kundananji has launched her own foundation called the Rachel Kundananji Legacy Foundation. So she launched this in Lusaka this week at the OYDC. So during the launch, OYDC Zambia acting chief executive officer Benjamin Tembo said that the Rachel Kundananji Legacy Foundation has been launched at the multi-sports facility, which will make more young people aspiring to get into forced sports get motivated by the football stars who plays for USA Bear FC. So Mr. Tembo indicated that the OYD Zambia will continue to work with partners like the Rachel Kundananji Legacy Foundation to promote sports development at a grassroots level. And also in her speech, Rachel Kundananji delivered a heartwarming message on how she became a celebrated global football icon. She indicated that her foundation will help many children and others. So Rachel Kundananji just rose to fame from the 2016. Before that, she used to work odd jobs like assisting men in the field of construction. So she's been working she worked more or less like as a construction worker just not too long ago. But here today, because of her determination, she's become the world's most expensive female player. And aside that, she's also helping two seedlings. One of them is pursuing law, then the other one is also pursuing business studies. So this is what Rachel Kundananji is giving back to the community.
All right, and we absolutely love to see it. Thank you very much, Mike, for bringing us the news stories as they are from Zambia.
Thank you very much, Africa. Good morning to our viewers, and I wish you a lovely weekend. Thank you very much.
By the way, speaking of the weekend, Mike, 13 July, I'll definitely be at the Hage Geingob Stadium as Namibia's rugby team takes on Portugal. But in the evening, I'm headed over to a Zambia night here in Windhoek, and we're going to be having Yo Maps performing in Namibia. So I'll let you know how that goes, seeing as he's arguably the biggest artist in Zambia right now.
Yes, he is, and I'm sure you will not regret attending his shows because he's a very good performer on the set and is going to deliver because I know he's prepared for this event. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, we certainly will. Let's have a look at the weather predictions.
Tickets are now live. Watch Namibia versus Portugal live at the Dr. Hage Geingob Stadium on the 13th of July 2024 at 3 p.m. Save this number 085 785 6221 and WhatsApp #NRU to purchase your tickets online. Or simply scan the QR code.
Now, some years ago, we're starting off in Namibia, some clients who had their money in a bank called SME woke up and their money was no more. It's been a battle to recover that money. Now, Daniel Nyangwa was a client of the former SME bank and others approached the defunct bank's liquidators about their missing money this week. Have a look.
Sending the SME depositors who lost their money in SME bank. I think this was from 2017. We are talking of almost like 9 years now. 10 years almost, our money is still in SME banks. As you can see here, there are people who are owed lots of money. Most of us, we are owed over $1 million. And we have other depositors who cannot be here with us today. There are small people in the street who are selling tomatoes. There are small people in Ongwediva or Shakati who are owed money. People who are selling in the street in order for them to start their own businesses. Many of us, we lost houses because the houses were sold because we could not get our money from the bank. Most of us, we lost cars. Our children were chased from school. I remember most of our members, some they were having in good schools, they end up shifting their kids to schools which they can afford, cheaper schools. So we are saying it's a long time. We need our money now. So we had come here to talk to the liquidators, Bruni and Magrane. So we had a meeting with them, and they said they are still in the process of collecting that money, and perhaps we'll get a 5 cents share from what is left. We are only going to get 5 cents for every dollar we still have in the bank. So we are saying as SME depositors, government is a 65% shareholder in the bank, so they are the owners of the bank. Why can't government give all these poor people, all of us, money so that we can run our own business? We did not borrow money from the bank, but we gave money to the bank. So that's what SME depositors are talking about today. Simply to say we want our money back. And we need to go on with life, we need to run our businesses. And the people are suffering. Some people, they died of high blood pressure. Some people, they died because of depression, because of this money in the bank. So it is a serious issue. It is a very serious issue. The ordinary person, the ordinary SME is suffering. Some of us were employing a lot of people. We end up having to retrench because we could not afford to pay salaries. The money is locked in the bank. So how many people suffered in the process? So this is our position. We are talking, we are saying, SMEs, they say, now there's no more negotiation. We simply need our money from the bank, from the government. Since the government is a 65% shareholder, we need our money now. That is what the SMEs are talking about.
So if government is not able to give you your money, what will you do?
We don't see any position which the government cannot afford. I think government can make a plan somehow to give us our money. So we don't see in any way they can say they can't give us our money. So what we are going to I think we sit and we decide on what to do.
You're still with Africa. Good morning. Let's have a look at the economic indicators. DSTV 285, GoTV 25, oneup2.com, and Network Media Hub on YouTube. That's where you can find Africa Good Morning. That's where we have been throughout the week. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be back next week, making sure that you get the very latest African news as you need it. From the Africa Good Morning team and me, Ashwin Berry, Suraja Kanaka.